Now Epson has released some of their own little ink tank systems, and we've been testing it. Decided to build one and sell it in their printers. There is some drawbacks to it, and I wish they would have asked us first. We could have helped them. Okay, number one, these printers cost over $400. Some a little less, but on the average $400. The cheaper model, like this model here, cannot do anything. I mean, can't duplex, can't do that. It's not a bad concept, but here's the problem. They sell a bottle of ink for $12.95, 70 milliliters. We sell the same ink, American made, for $7. Okay. Then you've got to take their cap off, break the seal, and pour it in. That's why they built this little area here, because the ink spills all over. Not a good design. And by the way, when you take the cap off, there you go. There's a seal in there. You got to peel it off. You get ink all over you. So now I just wanted to show you that. Now I'm going to show you our ink tank system on a $59 printer that's far superior to what this printer is. Now the other problem is when something happens to the printer, you got to send everything back to Epson. And they claim you're going to get 2 years of printing out of this bottle of ink. Well, I don't know. I guess on a 5% original, you can do that. So that means with ours, you can get what? 5 years? It doesn't matter. When you print and you put down a lot of ink, it uses a lot of ink. So I'm going to take you over to two Epson models that we're going to show you. One's going to be the XP 420 series, and there's a 320 and a 424. Then we're going to take you over and show you their Workforce 2630, 2650, and 2660. You're going to see the difference between this printer and with their ink tank, and you're going to see the difference with our ink tank. .com will release a new ink tank system for the Workforce, for the Epson Workforce 2650, 2630, and the 2660. Now this is a lot like their ink tank as far as this will have a dye-based ink or a pigment ink. We do make both, but on the Office, or the Workforce I should say, on the Workforce, it comes with pigment ink on the Precision Core. We make one with pigment ink also. Very simple to install. Put the cartridges in, run the little cable, comes outside. Easy to fill. Now here's the advantage. If something should happen to the ink system or the printer, you can take it off and either replace the ink system if you need to, or replace the printer or get it fixed. You don't have to send everything back. You don't have ink all over the place like their ET series, which I showed in the early part of this video. Now our ink tank is easy to fill. You just open it up. It protects against the dust and light. We give you the refill tools for it. Very simple to do. Very simple to install. Put the cartridges in. Put 2 hose brackets. You're done. Now here's Epson's 70 milliliter bottle of ink. That's what you get when you buy the printer. You use 4 of them, and they recommend you buy another set for $50 some odd. We can sell you more ink for less money. It's American made, Ultra Pro, true quality ink. Now, when you take the Epson cap, you have to break it off the top here, and you got to pour it in. But before that, you have to go in and remove a seal, and that you get ink all over your fingers. Now on our bottles, we have a compression seal. You can unscrew this bottle without getting one drop of ink on you. And then you can screw it back on and it protects the ink. We also have the little pour caps if you want to use it. Now our bottles, you can take the Epson caps and just screw them onto our bottles too. Whatever you want to do. This is the method I prefer. A long tip, blunt tip, and a syringe, and go in and drop your ink. It's a lot easier, it's more accurate when you're adding the ink. Because every time you bend and pour it and try to get it in, how much you put in spills all over. Now when adding ink to this ink tank, you just go right in there. You can use the funnels, but we prefer this method. It's more accurate, less mess, and it works just better. And then you can just go in and put the plugs back in. Open up the back plugs because that's your vent plug. You need to have that open. Same thing with the Epson. Close it up. Now you can hold it right next to the printer. But here's what I'm talking about. You don't have to box everything up and send it back if you have problems. And will you have problems with the Epsons? Oh, I'm sure you will. I've been doing this 20 years. I can't wait to see the problems they're going to have. Okay. So that's it. So now we have the COC Smart Chip that resets the ink levels all back to full. And just works awesome. I'm going to make a copy and you can watch it run. Now, the Epson printer, they use a hose that you can't see. So you never know when you have air in the hose. I don't know why they did that because that doesn't make any sense to me. And as far as this claim about, oh, this hose works better than the hose, that hose, well, I'm not so sure about that. Maybe, but I want to be able to see if I have a problem here. Okay, now I'm going to do it again. Open it up. Now watch. There you go. Perfect. Just as easy as that Epson. For a lot less money. You can buy the system, our economy system, for $99. You buy the printer for $59. So for $160, you've got a printer. And then, if something happens to the printer and it's out of warranty, buy another one exactly like it, put the system back in. Unless Epson changes again like they always do. So now this is for the workforce. Now in the next video, I'm going to show you the XP series. It's even less money. So why would you spend $12.95 for a bottle of ink when you can buy American-made ink for $7? And if you buy the combo pack, it's less than $7. And we supply, when you get the ink tank system, we supply the syringe with the tip so it becomes a lot easier to fill. And ours, we use an isobaric chamber. We also have a double loop hose bracket that we designed. That's very important for an ink tank system. It cuts down on a lot of the problems with head pressure to the print head. And that's the other thing. On Epson's printer, you can't take the cartridges out. You can't do anything. It's built right into it. So that means every time there's a problem with the printer, you got to send it back. This is just to show you how it works. We're going to make an install video and explain anything in details what you need to know. On these printers here, I definitely would recommend the ink tank system over refillable cartridges, because the way Epson built some of their new printers with the lockout serial numbers and everything, it can just be a headache to get them to work right. So we do recommend our ink tank system. We make the executive series like this, or we make the economy series. So if you just want to print and you don't want to spend a lot of money. The reason why this is the executive, because we use a pigmented ink here, just like Epson would use in that printer. It's a waterproof particle ink, and it's great for office use because it doesn't fade or doesn't run under water. Now on their ET series, they use all dye-based ink in the first 4 models. Inkproducts.com will soon release its newest economy ink tank system for the Epson XP420, the 320, and the 424. It's a lot more economical than Epson's new ET ink tank system. I'll explain why. We'll also be releasing an install video, but it's so simple to put it on. Now that's the ink tank. Protects the ink from dust and light, and it can be removed, so you could put it on another printer if something should happen to your printer, or if you just don't want to use the ink tank anymore. Where if it was the Epson, if anything goes wrong with the printer, and those printers are almost $400, you got to send it back. That means the ink and everything all over the place. What a mess. I think Epson should have came and asked us. We've been doing this 20 years. Very simple. We're using a dye-base, Ultra Pro dye-base ink like Epson does on their ET series. Got one hose bracket, goes into the cartridges. Comes out. We have our double loop hose bracket that we designed. The tank is held next to the printer so you can't knock it over. You open it up, remove the plug, fill it up. That's how simple it is. And I'll be printing something to say. Now Epson sells this bottle of ink, 70 milliliters of ink, for $12.95. And they say it's good for 2 years. Our ink tank comes with 80 milliliters of ink, pre-filled, per color. Epson only includes 70 milliliters of ink, and they claim that it's good for 2 years. I don't know. I don't know what they're printing, unless it's only a 5% original. But then we make various sizes, so you can, if you print more, you can buy more. Now Epson uses a pour cap, where they break this off, they pour it in the bottle. You got to take the seal off first, so you get ink all over your fingers. Now you can do it that way. We also have pour caps. I don't personally like them, and our bottles have compression caps. There's no seals. You just take the cap off. Very simple to do. Here's what I prefer, and this, by the way, will come with the ink tank. It's a syringe with a long 3-inch blunt tip. It goes right in the bottle, draws up, and it's more accurate to add the ink, and you don't get any spillage. And you can see your ink levels from outside or in, just like you would on the ET Epson. Now we've added the double loop hose bracket and an isobaric chamber. That keeps the proper ink and air balance to the printhead. Come over here. Very simple. I'm just going to make a copy. Then you'll be able to watch it. Now on Epson's ET, they use colored hose, so you can't see if you have any problems in that hose. We use clear hose, and a lot of people claim, well, this hose is better than that hose. I've been doing it 20 years, and I really don't think that matters that much. It may on pigment inks, but not on a good quality dye base. This ink is made in Indonesia. It's probably very good. No doubt about that. But this ink is made right here in America. It's American-made ink. Highest quality that money can buy. They sell you this bottle of ink for $12.95. We sell you the same size bottle for $7. And if you go up for $11.95, you can double it. So that's a lot of ink. But remember, it already comes pre-filled with 80 milliliters of ink per color. Comes out. I just made a copy of this sheet. Put it in. It's awesome. You can do photographs. You can do anything you want. Now, this ink tank system, pre-filled, comes for $99. The printer, you can buy the XP320 for $39. For $140, you can have exactly what Epson is charging you over $400 for. So, if you're on a tight budget, this is what I would look at. And this is made in America. We designed this and build this. Now, if you wanted to move the ink tank, you just can lift it off the clip, or you can put it back on to protect it from getting knocked over. But now I'll print another one, and you can see the action. And when it says one ink is low, you press the reset button, all the ink levels go back up, saving you cleaning. On the ET series, it definitely does a lot of printhead cleanings. Here it comes, that fast. This is our Ultra Pro dye-based ink, same OEM quality, maybe even a little bit better, in my opinion, than the Epson ink. Now that's just my opinion. So if you go to inkproducts.com, you can see this new, now we make an executive series, the economy series. The reason for this series is we're using dye-based ink, just like Epson does on their ET. Good, high-quality dye-based, great for home use. Pigment ink is a lot better for office use because it's waterproof and it doesn't fade, where dye-based eventually will fade unless you're protected. So for $100, now this model I believe was $49, the XP. So for $150, still a lot less than that ET printer. Oh, by the way, when you buy the ET printer, you get one bottle. They claim is good for 2 years, but they request, or not request, they suggest that you buy another set of bottles for over $50. So maybe it doesn't last as long as they claim. I guess it does if you're only printing 5% originals. An install video, just to show you how to install it. It's easy to do. In our ink tank system, you get everything. I mean, you'll get everything you need. Even if you should run it out of ink, you can repair it right then and there. You don't have to send the whole printer back, because with the Epson ET, if you run the ink out, oh, you got a problem. They'll probably have to box it up, and you got ink all over, sending it back. It's a lot smarter to do it this way than build it into a printer. I've done that. 20 years ago, I built them into the printers. It doesn't work, because you have one problem. Now you've got a printer and an ink system that's down. Here I could take this off, put a set of cartridges in, and still keep printing. And then when I get time, I could find out what the problem I'm having, if I'm having a problem. There's nothing built that doesn't have a problem. So there's no 100% anything.